Number 9 is gone. He's dead from the sounds of it. We don't really have confirmation of that. So we'll keep that in mind. But yeah, we made a really fun start to the game last time. It's yeah, I'm really enjoying it. This is kind of just, you know, trying to judge all the characters. We've got like a really colourful cast, various different archetypes. And yeah, it should be fun. One thing I was thinking after I finished the kind of extra long part 1 that we did was just the you know, our tormentor, our captor, whatever you want to call him, Zero or them. Sorry, let's just say them because we don't know really who or what it is. Zero is a number as well, right, or a digit. And the fact that number 9 had said, "Oh, you lied to me," you know, we have to with a game like this, you have to consider the possibility that there are stooges amongst us, right? Or that Zero could be one of us or something, right? Because they had a mask on, so Zero could be someone here. Then we also have the element of character connections. So obviously, Junpei knows. Should it be pronounced Akane? I don't know. Akane, anyway. That's what they're saying in their American accents. So Junpei and Akane went to school together in the past. Oh, I've got to remember everyone's like alternate nicknames, but Clover and Clover and Snake maybe know each other because Clover was assisting him just by holding his arm. She might have just been being nice, you know, that seems more likely, but there might be other pairs of connections here, similar to Junpei. I'm going to say us when I'm referring to Junpei because we're playing as Junpei, right? Okay, so yeah, number 9's just blown up. The explosion rocked the room. Instinctively, they ducked, then stood up slowly when they realized there was no danger. No one spoke. Silence filled the room. So I guess that this would then imply, how low is this skirt she's got on? She must have like a full-on arse crack showing on the other side. Unless she's got some like strategic tape. I don't know what you call it in your country if you're not from England, but this very much is what you call a builder's bottom scenario here. like if you walk past like a construction site and there's like a builder bent over picking something up and his like jeans have ridden down and you just see his arse crack. That's, yeah, we should call her the builder. Yeah, so the obvious implication is that there's an explosive device in this bracelet. And whether if that itself would kill you, I don't know, but depending on how bad it was, but obviously you would bleed out within minutes, particularly from the wrist there. So, yeah.
A beep?
Yeah, beep. I've turned the music down a little bit as well. All eyes turned toward it.
Did that thing just make that sound?
The display changed from engaged to vacant.
Right.
Let's see if we can open it.
7, the mountain, swallowed hard.
Okay.
Junpei nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. A red asterisk appeared on the LCD.
Well, it registered my bracelet number. But it won't open with one person. We need at least 2 more people.
So, okay, so maybe his bracelet exploded because he was on his own. Maybe the 3 people that scan on the thing all have to go through to progress in some manner. You try and game the system, then he's just going to pull the plug. Zero's going to pull the plug. What to do? Oh, God! So we've scanned. So we're going in. Okay, here we go. Oh, I wasn't expecting this. I was kind of wondering if there were going to be choices at all, really. I mean, you'd expect it given the setup, but I just, because I think one of you is explaining that, you know, visual novels tend to be somewhat linear, but I think there might be quite a bit of choice. I've got to remember who everyone is. So June is Akane. We could take her with us, show a little bit of bias there, because we know her, right? So we've established a little bit of trust with her. We've bought a little bit of trust with her by not revealing her name to everyone else when she kind of recklessly revealed our name. Santa is the silver-haired guy, right? Number 3. 7 is the big guy. I think him and Snake would be a rubbish combination if we're going to try and solve puzzles, personally. I feel like him and Snake, personality-wise, are going to just clash relentlessly. Ace is the older chap. And is Lotus Dancer. Yeah. I don't like her. She's very short-tempered, it seems. And if I'm kind of going to stereotype people, which I guess you'd have to do quite early on in a scenario like this, Ace, he seems a little impatient, right? Maybe he feels a bit more experienced than everyone here, so maybe he's going to feel like he's going to take charge. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but so I think Santa and June with us is. I bet this doesn't even do anything.
Santa and June, you think you could give me a hand here?
The pun was a little too on the nose, but the mood was still grim. Both Santa and June lifted their hands silently. He verified and she followed suit.
5 plus 3 plus 6 is 14.
4 plus 1 is 5, yes.
The digital root of 14, 1 plus 4 equals 5. This should do it. Now we just need to pull the lever on the side.
You guys ready? I'm gonna open it.
Junpei grabbed the lever and looked back over his shoulder. They stiffened and nodded. Junpei nodded back and set his mouth in a grim line. Then he slowly lowered the lever. There was a metallic groan and the door slid open. A breath of air drifted out of it, carrying a stench that nearly made them gag. Junpei grimaced and put a hand over his mouth.
Oh my god!
Good God.
Lotus and Ace shuddered. 7 grunted.
Whoa, that's pretty bad.
So I guess he's splattered everywhere. Even Santa's voice shook.
He blew up.
It appeared that Santa was right. The hallway on the other side of the door was splattered with chunks of torn flesh and dark red blood. The shriek echoed across the room. It had come from June. Then her strength left her and she dropped. Ugh. As Junpei turned to catch her, the door groaned shut. She crumpled to the floor.
June, are you okay?
Junpei dropped to his knees and put his arm around her shoulders. That was when he noticed. Her whole body was feverish. She was radiating intense heat.
What the hell? Where'd this fever come from?
June didn't answer. Her face looked like wax, and her whole body began to shake.
All right, okay, let's just rest for a minute, okay? You think you can walk?
She nodded weakly. Junpei lifted June to her feet and guided her to a nearby chair.
Here we go.
As gently as he could, he set her down in it.
How are you feeling? Are you all right?
She nodded, and as she did, a single huge tear rolled down the side of her face.
Why? Why did this happen?
Right, now if I'm trying to nominate candidates here who I think might actually be Zero, who's kind of covertly taking part in the game, I think Akane would be #1 candidate. Right? Knows us personally. You know, he's acting sick and upset and he's fainted, you know, an excuse not to take part. Her voice cracked, broken by misery and grief, and choked by sobs. Grief? I mean, did she know the guy?
Why did this happen?
Junpei spun around.
Do any of you know what the fuck is going on here? Who's Zero? What's this Nonary game? Come on! Anybody? Anything? What the hell is going on? What are we doing here?
No one spoke. Ace, Snake, Santa, Clover, Seven, and Lotus. They simply stood there, 7 pairs of downcast eyes and 7 grim lines for mouths. That's 6. June as well, I guess. June's body shook with silent sobs. They slowed as the minutes ticked by, and eventually they stopped. Then suddenly, in the cold, heavy silence that had enveloped them like a thick fog, a bell began to ring. The clock in the central hall. 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And then, on the 10th ring, it stopped. The sound of the bell faded away into silence.
It's 10 o'clock then.
So 1 hour down. They said what each of them had been thinking.
That means it's been an hour since Zero's little announcement.
Seven's deep voice echoed across the room.
Fuck! I've had enough of this crap!
Santa leapt to his feet, his fists clenched.
How long are we gonna pussyfoot around like this? We've only got 8 hours until this time limit Zero is going on about is up! Let's get going already! Go! Go!
Santa's outburst fell on deaf ears. No one seemed to agree with him. They stared back at him, their eyes blank and their faces tired. Finally, Lotus spoke.
No, I refuse. I'm not gonna end up like him.
Him? You mean the 9th man?
Of course, who else?
In his mind's eye, Junpei saw the corpse again.
Blood. Oh, blood and pieces of flesh.
The dark reddish-black pool of blood. But maybe it's a possibility that this isn't even his blood. Maybe he was an actor. Maybe he was a part of this. The scattered pieces of flesh. Organs strewn across the floor like the blossoming of a grotesque flower. The explosion that had torn through his body and had been powerful.
That's no way for a person to die.
The ninth man's neck had been twisted at an odd angle. Okay, they can actually identify him then. It's not just kind of like blood. I guess it's just artistic interpretation. Junpei suspected the detonation had thrown him against the wall. Half of his face was crushed and the other half was covered in blood. Most of his abdomen had been emptied either by the explosion or by gravity. He'd landed on his back, and stark white ribs jutted up out of his chest like the legs of some sort of macabre crab. Junpei felt something flip in his stomach.
I think he just screwed up.
Eyebrows went up. And Santa continued.
He probably set off some sort of trap, and that killed him.
No, I think he didn't he didn't play by the rules. I think that's what Zero wants, right?
I'm not gonna screw up like that. I'm getting out of here alive.
Whatever Snake was laughing at, Santa didn't find it particularly humorous.
What's so goddamn funny?
Gotta play the game.
Oh,
then.
my apologies. You were just so very confident. I couldn't help myself.
What the fuck?
I think you've mistaken the situation.
Huh?
The ninth man's death. It had nothing to do with the trap. Or at least not the sort of trap you imagine it did.
He just broke the rules.
Then?
He broke one of Zero's rules. That was why he died. Quite simple if you think about it.
Huh?
You still don't... All right. How about you take a moment and think back to what Zero said? Specifically, what did he say about the number of people?
He said only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door.
Exactly.
Right?
And after that? You've forgotten the relevant part. What did Zero say?
Santa furrowed his brow in thought. Junpei thought back. Zero said, "Oh God, I can't remember." What did he say? I think everyone who verified, right?
All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute, right?
Yeah. Oh, phew.
I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, it means that groups of less than 3 or more than 5 can't go through.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct. A gold star for you, Junpei.
Thanks! Snake inclined his head toward Junpei.
The ninth man, however, broke that rule.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to pass through a numbered door by himself. That was why he was executed.
And Zero's watching us from somewhere, making sure we don't break any rules.
Oh, I'm not so sure of that.
Why not?
Because this execution system is entirely automatic. You didn't notice? There's no need for him to monitor us.
What do you mean?
Snake looked at Seven with what could only be described as pity inside. Looked at him?
Very well. I see it must be me who tells you. I've waited long enough, I suppose. I had hoped Zero might spare me the trouble, but that seems increasingly unlikely.
He couldn't see them, of course, but perhaps Snake sensed the confused eyes upon him. When Ace spoke, he gave words to everyone else's thoughts.
Do you know something?
Well, I know a great many things, but yes.
What is it you know?
Here.
Snake removed a card from the pocket of his jacket.
A card? What does it say?
See for yourself.
With a flourish, he presented it to Ace, who took a close look at it and spoke.
Come on now, what's the point of giving me this?
He probably can't read it himself.
Give me that.
Santa snatched the card from Ace, but his expression of disgust quickly turned to one of confusion.
Huh? The hell is this?
Seven tugged it out of Santa's hands.
I see.
The card went from Seven to Lotus, from Lotus to June, and finally to Junpei. He looked at it and understood.
This is Braille.
Right. Braille, the written language of the blind. The card was covered with small embossed bumps. Junpei could recognize it, but he certainly couldn't read it.
Sorry guys, I can't read this. Here, have it back.
Junpei handed the card back to Snake, who nodded at him with a small smirk.
Okay, that was fun. What's so important about that card?
I found it in my pocket. I can only assume it is a message from Zero.
From Zero?
A message?
What does it say?
Suddenly, everyone was crowding around Snake, desperate to hear what the message said. Santa especially looked as if he were about to grab hold of Snake and shake the answers from him. Snake raised his hand.
Calm down now. No need to panic. You don't need to force me. I'll read it.
Junpei swallowed hard and waited for him to start. He wasn't the only one. Presently, Snake began to read, his voice calm. His fingers glided over the tiny bumps as he spoke.
Bracelet number 2. Since you are not blessed with sight, I shall bless you, and only you, with information. I shall tell you of the function of the red, of the dead, and of the bracelet.
I'm just going to make a few notes here. The red, the dead, and the bracelet.
The red is the recognition device.
Right. Yeah, the recog device.
It will verify your number. Beside every numbered door, you will find a red. The dead is the deactivation device.
Okay.
It does exactly what it says. Once you have passed through the numbered door, you must use the dead to stop the detonator in your bracelet. But perhaps you are wondering, what does this detonator detonate? I am afraid this might be something of a surprise. I have placed a small bomb inside of you and people who you are about to meet. You swallowed it while you were unconscious.
Uh-oh.
I have no doubt by the time you read this note, the bomb will have passed your stomach and found its way to your small intestine.
Quick laxatives.
In other words, you will be unable to regurgitate it. I suggest you do not try. As I mentioned before, the bracelet on your left hand contains a detonator. Think of it as a remote fuse, or timer, for the bomb in your body.
Yes.
There is only one condition which will cause it to detonate. That condition is that you enter a numbered door. Once you have done so, the timer will activate, no matter who you may be. You will have 81 seconds. If, after that time, the detonator has not been deactivated, it will send a signal to the bomb in your body, instructing it to explode. In order to deactivate the detonator, every person who verified their number at the red must also verify their numbers at the dead. Once all numbers have been verified by the dead, you need only pull the lever at its side. And the countdown will cease. Anyone who does not verify their number at the red will find themselves unable to verify their number at the dead.
Right, so people who go through the door who haven't scanned here.
That is to say, if you should pass through a numbered door without first verifying your number at the red, in 81 seconds, you will be dead. You must also keep in mind that the numbered doors will close automatically after 9 seconds have passed.
Okay.
So long as the doors open, the dead will not function.
Yeah.
You would do well to remember this. Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. you escape from this ship to your heartbeat, which is 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or the enigmatic wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically.
But there's still a bomb in our lower intestine.
There is no other way to remove your bracelet. If you attempt to force it off or disable the detonator, the bomb within you will immediately explode.
This is all the information which I can impart to you. How you choose to use it is for you to decide. If used wisely, you can eliminate those who might be a danger to you. For a time, you would be able to control your fate. I wish you the best of luck.
Snake finished reading and carefully returned the card to his pocket.
So it's saying only those who verify their numbers at the red can pass through the numbered doors.
Yes, Junpei.
Teams can't add or subtract people after they're scanned in. The reds, deads, and bracelets enforce the rules. They're judge, jury, and executioner.
Shit! A fucking bomb! Come out! Come out, damn it!
In defiance of Zero's suggestions, both Santa and Seven put fingers down their throats and began to gag. The rest stiffened, some touched their stomachs, some simply stared at their bracelets. Junpei gingerly touched his stomach.
There's a bomb inside me.
The thought of it made him queasy.
Oh.
His stomach felt oddly hollow, and his legs were weak.
What made Zero think creating this horror show of a game was a good idea?
Junpei looked over at the others.
All right, I'm gonna ask one more time. Do any of you know anything about Zero?
They were all silent, each person waiting to hear what the others would say. Finally, Santa spoke.
Actually, I saw him. I saw Zero when I got grabbed. I didn't see his face, though. Son of a bitch was wearing some kind of gas mask.
Right, same as our account.
What the hell? Come on, guys, give me something. You know, like surprise or something?
Instead, it was Santa who looked surprised. There was a moment of silence, and then everyone spoke at once.
I saw that too.
I did as well.
Me too. I didn't see inside the mask, though. That mask, it was really scary.
Huh?
Oh, so all of our abductions were the same. We were taken from home at midnight. The person claiming to be Zero had a mask on. There was white smoke, and then each of us passed out.
Oh, they could have just all been different people.
We woke up to find ourselves on D-Deck, in a room with a 3-level bunk bed.
How about you, Seven? Did the same happen to you?
Only Seven's story seemed to lack the detail of the others.
Oh, me? Yeah, well, mine was just like the rest of yours.
That was all he said. It had occurred to Junpei at the time that it sounded somewhat strange that he didn't press the issue.
Okay, that's good enough for now.
Okay, Seven doesn't have a story. Maybe. He hadn't done so because there was something that struck him as even stranger.
So, I have a question.
That was the mystery of the relationship between Snake and Clover.
Snake and Clover, you were both kidnapped from the same room, and you woke up together.
Junpei looked at them thoughtfully.
So, what's the deal with the two of you anyway?
It was Clover that answered. Clearly she felt she had nothing to hide.
We're siblings.
Siblings?
Yes. Snake is my older brother, obviously. That means I'm his little sister. That really so hard to understand?
Siblings. You just say brother, right? Junpei was taken aback. The others seemed just as surprised. Yeah, isn't this grey hair? I mean, this does kind of look school uniformy, though, right?
She is correct, of course.
Hmm. He laid his hand on Clover's shoulder.
Are you, surprised?
Well, yeah, but
Why? There are other people here with connections to one another. Those two, for instance.
Snake pointed at Junpei and June.
Oh, you mean between Jumpy and me?
How is he pointing at us? I mean, what is this guy? What? Has he glued his eyelids shut? Is he not really blind? I mean, that's like he said that the text said before that he looked at 7, and now it's saying he's pointing at people in the room. I know that there's echolocation and, you know, that you have 4 other senses to help you, but...
Ah, yes. You did say you were childhood friends, didn't you?
Wait, you went to school together?
Yes, Lotus, that's what childhood friends implies.
Yeah?
June glanced at Junpei, uncomfortable with the sudden attention.
Well, yeah.
Junpei felt somewhat nervous as well, and tried to scratch his head as casually as possible. For God's sake! Ah, these two, when they talk about each other, they just turn into like 5-year-olds.
Hey, you think maybe we could figure out who Zero is this way?
Perhaps.
yeah, you're right. You connect the dots between the victims, and that leads you to the perp. Textbook stuff.
Junpei. June. Does any of this ring a bell?
Huh, ring a bell.
Does what ring a bell?
Ring a bell?
They looked at one another, and like it was staged, they both tilted their neck at the same time.
Well, perhaps you went to school with the son of a multimillionaire.
Yeah, makes a lot of
A
sense.
millionaire?
Son?
Well, someone bought this boat and set up all of this. Whoever Zero is, they must be incredibly rich.
Well, we can't be sure of that.
Hmm.
To me, this seems as though it's the work of an organization, not an individual.
Exactly, because if we were all kidnapped at the same time, it means that all the people in the masks weren't all Zero, right?
Most likely, Zero is simply the representative of a larger group.
What sort of organization?
Who knows?
It could be a number of things. An army, perhaps, or a research group.
Yeah, or it could be a TV show, right?
Perhaps this is all some sort of psychological experiment.
If it is, then it's a pretty fucked up experiment.
All right, Captain No Sleeves.
I mean, come on! A guy's dead!
The word dead hung in the air, heavy and ominous. The room went quiet again.
I don't know who the hell this Zero asshole is, but I know for sure he's gotta be pretty fucked up in the head to do all this.
Hmm.
If this was all one guy, then he's got some serious issues.
I mean, one thing that's important to think about is that Zero's not had any... Whenever we've heard Zero talk, it's been very matter of fact. There's been no embellishments, no eccentricity, right? So, the serious issues part, I mean, it's been pretty robotic, you know, in what he's presented, not just in the actual robotic sound. Even with the spectre of death hanging over them, their discussions continued for some time. Uh-oh.
I thought we were finished with that topic.
But then what should we do?
We should talk it through.
Oh my god, enough! All we're doing is talking!
Santa threw up his hands, his voice filled with irritation.
Talking won't solve anything! It can't help us find our way out of here! You really sure you want to just sit around? We've only got 7.5 hours left. We already wasted 1.5 hours of our 9 hours.
Everyone there was already on the edge of panic. What Santa told them only made that feeling more intense. No one was willing to argue this time.
You're right.
Very well then. There's only one way for us to proceed.
Sure not gonna be fun running around knowing we gotta jump when Zero says jump.
Well, it's stupid to just sit around here doing nothing.
Well, thanks to Snake's card, at least we have some idea of how this all works.
Correct. And so long as we all follow the rules, we will most likely be all right.
But
But what?
who's going to go in which door?
June looked towards the numbered doors.
Oh yeah, that's right. We can't have any more than 5 people in one door. All 8 of us can't go in the same door.
Then it would seem we will have to split up.
Wait.
Lotus looked terrified.
I'm telling you now, there is no way in hell that I'm going into door 5.
Why?
Come on now, don't be selfish.
Yeah.
Call me whatever the hell you want. I'm not going in there. If I'm going to have to walk through all that blood, then I'd rather stay here.
And we were doing so well.
Ace shook his head sadly.
Sorry, but I ain't going in there either. Someone else can go into door 5.
Alright. So we're gonna have to split. So everybody's gonna split between these doors. So we've got a door 5 group and a door 4 group. Door 4 automatically now needs to have Santa, and Lotus. 3 and 7. 3 and 7? No, 3 and 8. 7 is 7.
Oh, Santa, not you too.
Hey man, I just bought these shoes. If you think I'm getting some creepy dude's blood all over him, you got another thing coming.
That was the last straw.
What the hell, man? Weren't you the one who kept saying we should get going? Yeah, so? Doesn't mean I wanted to go into door 5.
Oh, God.
There was an awkward silence. Finally, 7 spoke.
Fine, I'll go into door 5.
Okay, 7 wants to go.
I can't go in there alone, though. Anyone else willing to come with me?
There was another long silence. This time, Snake was the one to break it.
I'll go.
Okay. They realize that the maths has to work out, right?
What?
Don't worry. You'll be fine. We may part now, but I'm certain we'll meet again later.
How do you know that?
Because I do.
That's not an answer! If you're going, I'm going too. I'm going into door 5.
Okay. Clover. So that's 7, 9, 13.
What am I going to do with you?
There's nothing you have to do.
So Ace has to go with them. Ace step forwards.
If I join you, the problem is solved, correct? 7 is 7, and Snake is 2.
Yeah.
And if you add Clover's 4 and my 1, the digital route will be 5.
7 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 is 14. The digital root of 14. 1 plus 4 is 5.
Oh, it works perfectly! The 4 of us can go into door 5.
Great, I'm stuck here with Santa and Lotus and June.
Wait. What about the other 4? What's their digital route gonna be?
Let's figure that out. 5, 6, 8, and 3. So 8, 11, 16, 22. How convenient. Junpei did a quick mental calculation.
Lotus, Santa, June, and me.
It's 22,
Our
man.
bracelet numbers are 8, 3, 6, and 5. 8, 3, 6, 5. What would our digital root be?
Four.
8 plus 3 plus 6 plus 5 is 22. So, the digital root of 22, 2 plus 2 equals 4.
He repeated what he determined.
It's 4. Add up our 4 bracelet numbers and the digital root is 4.
Then we can go into door 4.
Yep.
Yeah. Huh. That worked out well.
No, it didn't, man. I've got stuck with the, like, 3 most neurotic people. But, well... Like, if I was going to have a choice here, like, if I was going to choose, like, team leaders, obviously we're one team leader, because I can make decisions. So then I would definitely send Snake with the other group, right? Because he seems quite switched on. But the problem is then you send Snake, then Clover has to go, and then maybe you'd have to send Ace, so then I'd naturally get stuck with all the idiots. I'm only joking, I'm not making judgments here. I'm just making light judgments.
So the team assignments will be like this. 7, Snake, Clover, and Ace. They would go through door 5.
Mm-hmm.
Lotus, Santa, June, and me will go through door 4.
And we've got loads of other doors that don't have blood all over them.
Are these really the teams I want?
No.
Beyond door 5 is what remains of the 9th man. I never want to see that thing again, but something's telling me that it'd be a good idea to examine the corpse, even just a little closer. Of course, if I went through door 5, I wouldn't be going with Lotus and Santa.
Yeah.
I could bring June with me through door 5, but that means she'd have to see the body in there. I don't want to put her through that.
What, could you? Yeah, that means we don't get to go through door 4 though. Let's just do, I don't know, let's... Junpei was torn.
Should I stay silent and go through door 4? Or should I stop them and insist on door 5?
As he turned his options over and over in his mind, Ace spoke up.
All right then.
I can't go through with them anyway, it doesn't matter.
It seems we've reached a conclusion. Shall we go?
He began to walk toward door 5.
I'm going through door 5.
We can't go through anyway because of the square roots, because of the digital root stuff, right? I would need to replace Clover and Ace to make that work. Or unless we can get the total to 23. No. No. Clover and Snake followed, with 7 a short distance behind.
We're over there too, right, Snake?
The door's not going anywhere. Slow down.
Which door?
He's right about examining the body, I suppose, but what are we going to learn from that? I mean, I don't know what Junpei's job is. Does he specialize in, like, post-mortem examinations? I think we should go through door 4 because I don't know how we're going to get through door 5 without completely changing the groups. And I do trust that group. Like Ace and Snake, I think seem like they'd be quite useful together, quite level-headed. Clover seems quite bright as well. You know, 7 seems alright, to be fair. It seems like he's calmed down a little bit. It's just we're stuck with the other 3 who definitely are a bit annoying. Like, I've not heard Santa come out with anything useful. Lotus is really impatient and selfish, and Akane is just a bit. You know, she's fainting and she's ill. I'm not trying to. Maybe once she calms down, she'll be all right. I don't know. I think we should go through door 4. We decided that door 4 would be fine.
I'll go through door 4 with Lotus, Santa, and June. There's nothing to worry about.
Yes, there
Just need
is.
to stay by her side.
Why? June. Akane Kurashiki.
You should be fine. It's no problem this way. I should see the other 4 off.
He made no shows of affection, but Junpei saw her as something more than just a friend from his childhood.
Looks like Ace and the others are going.
He watched the other 4 walk toward their door. Ace, Snake, Clover, and Seven. Junpei said nothing as they left. Before long, they'd reached door 5. They talked to one another for a few seconds, saying things Junpei couldn't hear, and then laid their hands one by one on the scanner panel of the red.
Now then.
Ace grabbed the lever. His face tight with determination, he turned over his shoulder to look at Junpei and his companions.
Goodbye.
Be careful.
As Ace pulled the lever, the door swung open, the mouth of a great, hungry beast. Hurry! Yeah, dude, you've got 9 seconds! Beyond the door, Junpei knew lay the sad remains of the 9th man. It didn't surprise him that Ace, Clover, and Seven hesitated. The body was not a pleasant thing. Hurry up, seriously, guys.
What are you doing? We need to hurry.
Snake had no such problems, as his blindness made him immune to the horror. He stepped through the door. He saw, come on, please hurry up. Don't let him walk through there on his own.
Snake!
It's fine. Hurry! Or are you planning on dying with everyone else? I assume you haven't forgotten the door only remains open for 9 seconds, have you?
Sorry, Snake!
Let's go!
Yes! The 3 remaining steeled themselves and stepped through the door. Phew. Door 5 swung shut, closing with the heavy finality of metal upon metal. Junpei and his companions scrambled to the door.
Hey! How is it over there?
Dude, just let them scan the thing.
Did you find anything? At least say something, will you?
Something's beeping.
Yeah, their wristwatch, their bracelet's going to count down until they use the dead.
It's just like before.
Probably the sound of the detonator on the bracelet.
Do you think they're okay?
June's face showed her concern more plainly than her words ever could. Almost as though in response to her question, a voice rang out from the other side of the door. It was Seven.
Hey, there it is! That's gotta be that dead thing! Come on, get over here! We gotta authenticate!
Whew. That's all.
The
That
beeping
was 4 beeps.
stopped.
The sighs of relief were audible even through the heavy door.
Woo! Looks like it stopped.
Junpei and his companions leaned away from the door and breathed a collective sigh of relief of their own.
Hey, guys! Are you doing all right over there?
They'd heard Seven's voice, but it wouldn't hurt to be sure.
Yes, we're fine.
Despite the recent danger, Clover's voice was as bubbly as ever.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna tell you about this whole dead thing, okay? The dead is just like the red, but the color's different. You know how the red was red? Well, the dead is blue.
Yep. What, like this bit?
Other than that, it's just like the red. Authenticating is the same too.
Awesome! Thanks. That helps a lot.
Well, we should probably move on now. You be careful out there.
Roger that.
Junpei and the others left door 5 and headed towards door 4.
Ooh. Now it's our turn. I'll go first.
They stood in front of the red and placed each of their hands upon it. 4 asterisks appeared on the screen. Junpei grabbed the lever and turned around.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah, seriously, guys, please don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's go.
None of them looked particularly optimistic, but their faces were set. Junpei nodded to them and turned back towards the red.
All right, let's go.
With strength and determination, he pulled the lever. Let's go.
Run!
It's nice not having to control anything. The 4 of them leapt through the door together. The moment they passed through it, each heard a cold electronic sound coming from their left wrist.
Oh, damn.
In the center of each bracelet, a red skull appeared and began to flash. The detonator's countdown had begun. In the long moment that each of them spent staring at their wrists. So that's 9 seconds down. The numbered door behind them closed, and the sound of metal on metal reverberating down the hallway.
We can't go back!
We need to hurry and find the device.
Hey! Where the hell is the dead?
How would I know?
Don't give me that crap! Start looking!
I already am!
God, Santa. They began to run, eyes looking frantically for the device that was key to their salvation. The hallway they found themselves running down was a long one, easily 300 feet in length. On the right side stood a series of wooden doors, all nearly identical. If they had taken time to think, they would likely have discerned that the doors lead to cabins.
Don't tell me the dead is in one of those rooms.
Oh no! How many rooms do you think there are?
Junpei was too frightened to count properly, but at his best guess there were 7 or 8 of them.
Ah, fuck! We don't have time to count!
Junpei ran to the nearest door.
We just need to open them all.
He grabbed the knob and shook it hard. They're
It
all
won't
locked.
open.
It didn't feel locked, more like someone had hammered an iron plate over the other side of the door. Junpei turned around to find another door and saw that his companions had already run to the doors of their own. They didn't seem to be having any more success than he had. Their own words confirmed his fears.
Shit, this one's no good.
Same here. It's not moving!
June was the last to speak up. As Junpei looked in her direction, his eye caught something he hadn't noticed before. A small red blinking light.
There it is! At the end of the hallway! Run!
Even as he yelled, he ran. He grabbed Santa, Lotus, and June and pulled them toward the light. Santa called out to them as he ran.
Hey, how many more seconds do we have?
How would I know?
Our time limit is 81 seconds!
I know that, goddammit! I'm asking you how many seconds we have left!
In all likelihood, Junpei figured nearly a minute had already passed since the door had closed behind them. Oh god, if that was true! Urgency foremost, in all of their minds, they arrived at the end of the hallway. The dead sat on the left wall, blinking almost tauntingly at them.
Hurry! It's the dead! Get over here!
Junpei grabbed a hold of the machine, his hands slick with sweat and shaking. He slammed his hand against the scanner panel.
Come on, everyone!
The other 3 quickly followed suit. With a grunt, Santa yanked the lever downward.
Looks like it stopped.
His hands beginning to steady, Junpei wiped away some of the sweat that had beaded on his forehead. As they caught their breath, the 4 companions began to look around.
There's another door at the end of the hallway.
He could see a heavy-looking set of double doors. Set into the walls of the hallway on either side of the larger door were 2 smaller ones.
Let's try this one first.
Right, guys, I'm going to end the video there. Not sure where the checkpoint will throw us back in. Let's save the game. Let's just see where it's going to load me back in. Cause... Wait, what? Am I in the right place? Didn't I save in a new slot?
There's another door at the end of the hallway.
This save menu is so confusing, dude. Oh right, it's because it didn't register the click. Right, okay. I apologize. Right. Awesome. We'll pick it up from here next time. Yeah, it's really high stakes. Yeah, I feel like it was the right thing to split up with 2 even parties, and I don't think having. I know the makeup of the groups would have been different, but if we're gonna get please don't think I'm judging the characters outright. I'm just trying to judge them based on what they do immediately. I'm you know, I mean, I want to learn more about them. It's just I feel like some people like when people are watching who've played through games already know everything about a character, so I have, you know, a real affinity for, you know, their whole character. As I'm just trying to react to what they're saying, like here and now. Do you know what I mean? Like yeah. So we'll see how things progress. But I feel like it was the right thing to do to come with, particularly to come with Santa and Lotus, because they're quite a bit. They're a little bit caustic and they panic a little bit, whereas I feel like Snake is very calm and he's got Clover with him. I can't really judge Ace just yet, but I think that just that group can probably take care of themselves. So anyway, we'll pick it up from here next time. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Leave me a like if you did. Just remember, everyone, never trust an on crate. I'll see you next time.